This is Devil Dungeness crab. Oh yeah, perfect. Perfect the way I wanted to cook it. And I'm gonna show you how to make it. It's my take on a Southern East Coast favorite. Different kind of crab, same recipe. Give it a try, I hope you like it. For this recipe, you're gonna need cooked Dungeness crab, mayonnaise, some Dijon mustard, some Old Bay seasoning, some Japanese breadcrumbs, panko. For the veggies, I put green onion, some shallot, and some red bell pepper. And also part of the sauce, we put 4 egg yolks. Normally what they do is they use a blue crab, but because we don't have blue crab on this side of the world, we only have Dungeness crab, which is probably about 3 times bigger than, you know, at least twice as big as a blue crab. We're gonna try it for the first time. I've never done it, but I've always enjoyed devil crab, and I haven't had it for a while, so we're gonna do it today. Okay, step 1. I got these crabs right here. They're already cooked, so of course we gotta take the meat out, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and take the shell off, but I'm gonna go through it step by step. So we need to keep the carapace. This is gonna be our bowl or our baking vessel, if you will. So in order to clean it, all you have to do, what I do is I grab these legs right here. I grab this side of the carapace and I just pull it, okay? This is the most important part because we need to keep this for the cooking process. And that's like kind of a classic. So I'm gonna put this over here for now. And if you can see, I need to take off all the gills. These, we call them, some places call them dead man fingers, but these are actually the gills right here. You don't want to eat those. Not edible. Okay. Pull off as many of those as you can. Okay. Here is all the mustard and the innards. We don't want that part. We just want meat. I'm going to rinse out this part. It doesn't really matter if you get a little water on the meat. Like I said, it's already cooked. And this part right here, you can just bust it in half. And there you have a cleaned Dungeness crab. And we're going to get into the actual taking apart of the legs and stuff. But first, I'm going to go ahead and clean the carapace. There's all kinds of little membranes and stuff that keep his body together. We need to pull all that kind of stuff out best we can. Okay, so there we go. We have our 6th crab. I don't know if any of you have ever taken the meat out of a crab. It's pretty easy. First I do is I take the legs off. Now the important part here is to make sure that you don't get a lot of shell. You don't want a lot of shell in your crab meat. So I just use my hands. You know, you can wear gloves if you want. I like to do it barehanded because then I can feel if there's any little shards of cartilage or shell in the meat. I don't want that. I just want pure meat. I'm thinking that it's going to take probably about 1.5 crabs to fill this carapace. So if you're going out and catching your own crab, you know, and by the way, you can use any crab you want. I've never used a rock crab, which we also have here on the West Coast, but I am pretty sure that it would be very tasty. The carapace is a little bit smaller, so I would imagine you don't need as much meat to fill the cavity of the carapace. You can put any kind of vegetables you want in. Terry, I'm going to go ahead and, these are some shallots. I'm going to go ahead and saute these. You can put whatever you like in here. Some people like to put celery inside. Me, I just like to keep it simple. I want the crab to be the star of the show. And we're going to put a little bit of red bell pepper in there for some flavor. And we're not going to saute the green onions, but we're going to chop some green onions and throw them in there. I'm going to use some Old Bay, there is a little bit of, I believe, cayenne in the Old Bay. Gives it a little kick. Okay, so what we're doing right now, I got 2 slabs of butter, 2 ounces of butter. I use the unsalted kind. The reason I use unsalted is because the Old Bay seasoning and all those other kinds of things I'm going to add have a lot of salt in them, so I don't want to over salt it. So unsalted butter is what I like to use. And once the butter is melted, right, I'm going to turn down the heat to about medium, and then I'm going to sweat my vegetables here that I have chopped up. Just bell pepper and some shallots for flavor. Okay. Kind of getting a little bit of moisture out of this, the vegetables. We don't want a really heavy crunch in actual crab mixture that we're going to put into and bake the deviled crab portion. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of sweating them a little bit to get some of the moisture out and make them tender. We don't want crunchy vegetables in there. So we'll let this go for about 2 or 3 minutes on about medium-high heat. I don't know if a lot of you know this, but when you crack an egg, you should always crack it on a flat surface rather than the edge of a surface, because when you crack it on the edge of a surface, like on the edge of a bowl like this, that's really sharp, you create more little pieces of the shell. So a flat surface makes less shell. Okay, I'm going to throw 1 whole egg in because I need a little bit of the white, and then we're going to get rid of this egg white here. And we're going to throw that egg in there like that. And there we go. So we can just kind of whisk this up a little bit. Okay, to that we're going to go ahead and add probably about a cup of mayonnaise. Said we're just guesstimating here. And we're going to get that in there. We're going to put about 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Okay, and then some Old Bay. I'm just going to go ahead and guesstimate, but probably in this amount of mixture, I'm probably going to put about a tablespoon in. And for a little bit of heat, you can use any kind of heat source you'd like. Some people put cayenne. Some people put whatever their favorite hot sauce is. We like sriracha. Sriracha is a good one. You can put Tabasco, whatever you like. But I'm probably going to put about a tablespoon of sriracha in here too, just for that little added heat. This is the stage where we put some green onion in here. I like to just put the green part, not so much the white. So we just want it for the flavor, not so much the texture. Okay, now this is the part where we get to use our hands a little bit. As you can tell, I have quite a bit of crab meat because I only had 6 crabs to deal with, but I have a lot of crabs to fill. So what I did is I purchased some crab that's already been peeled and ready to go. Plus, as you can tell, it's a different color. It's claw meat. And this is the Dungeness that I peeled from the other crab, and this is the one I did for you guys just a few minutes ago. We're gonna go ahead and throw all the crab in right now because a lot of people put breadcrumbs in at this stage. I don't, because I want the flavor of the sauce to get on the crab. I don't want it so much on the breadcrumbs, because the breadcrumbs, as you know, will soak up all the juice, right? And we don't want that. We want the flavor of that sauce on our crab. So I'm going to add all the crab. And at this stage, you just want to gently toss it. You don't want to squish it. You don't want to break up the big clumps of crab meat that you have in there. Okay, you just want to kind of I'm just lightly tossing it just to get that sauce all over the crab meat. Kind of similar to a crab cake, if anybody's ever made a crab cake before. But we're not gonna, as you will see when I stuff the crab shells, we're not gonna pack it down and make it into a cake. We're more or less just filling the shell. We want to pack it in kind of loosely. I just use panko. I'm Japanese, so this is my favorite go-to on breadcrumbs. And so I'll go ahead and add these. This is my binder. We don't want to add a lot at first. You just want to add a little bit. I probably put about 1.5 cups in there, right? And then I'm going to get back into mixing it because I don't want to put too much in, because if you put too much in, you can't take it out at this stage. But you can always add more if you don't put enough. So right now I'm just feeling it right now. If I can make a ball kind of like that, that's kind of like what we're looking for. But I can tell from feeling it that it needs a little bit more breadcrumbs. Because like I said, we're not building cakes. We're just building crab stuffing. But it is nice to have a binder. All right, so I put in about another cup of breadcrumbs. And I think that is going to do me right there. So it's at the consistency I want. As you can tell, I can make a ball. I can actually make a cake. But as you can tell, you won't see the breadcrumbs in that. It's just a cake of nothing but crab is all you can see. That's what we're looking for. I did forget one thing, guys. My peppers and my onions, my shallots. This you can add in at any time. Okay, it doesn't matter. We have our crab mixture made. It's been sitting for, 5 minutes, 10 minutes for all the breadcrumbs to absorb a little bit of the sauce with the crab and all that kind of stuff. So these are our crab shells. We're just going to go ahead and start stuffing these shells. So I would probably just grab a whole handful like this to start. And what we're looking at is not so much to go all the way into the sides of the cavity, but to stay more on top like this. Like I said, we're not going to pack it down too much, but enough for it to stay in the shell like that. Okay. And I put it on a little tin foil. I do crinkle the tin foil first. The reason I do that is so when I do push the shells down, it gives it a nice place to stay so they don't rock back and forth. There we go. We have a little bit of crab meat left over, which a lot of times, you're gonna have a little bit of leftovers. This would be perfect just in a regular old casserole dish, and you can throw it in the oven. Here we go, we got our crab cakes in. I didn't do anything else to them while we were gone. My oven is heated up to 350. We're gonna just go ahead and kind of make sure if there's any juice that runs out, it's gonna be collected by the tin foil. Okay, we're gonna pop these in. And it's 2:14 right now. So at 2:45, actually 2:15. So at 2:45, we're gonna pull them out and see how they come out. And you'll see them when I see them. They're gonna be good. Okay guys, it's been about roughly about 40 minutes, and I like the color on these, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out. There you go, see, so they've set up pretty nicely. I'm pretty sure they're warmed all the way through. Got a little nice little brown color on it, which is nice. There's a nice crust on top. That's what I was looking for, right? Nice and firm, probably warmed all the way through. So there you go. I mean, you can actually make a sauce for this if you'd like. I mean, different kinds of aioli, spicy sriracha that you can buy. Probably just straight hot sauce would be good on top of these. I mean, it's endless what you can put on top of these to give it just a little extra kick or added flavor. I did it just like this because we're gonna actually transport these to different places tonight for dinner. We actually made enough for our wives tonight as well. So this is kind of like a little treat. But anyway, there you go. That's my take on deviled Dungeness crab. Like I said, I haven't eaten one of these in a long time, so it's gonna be great. And give the recipe a try. It's not very hard. If you're up north, Northern California, Oregon, wherever, you guys get Dungeness crab like crazy up there. So give this recipe a try, see what you think. And until next time, see you later.